Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss about the sexual reproduction in human beings. As we know, human beings are sexually reproducing and viviparous organisms. So, we human beings, we show internal fertilization and internal development, and there are certain processes involved for the completion of the reproduction process in a series way. As we know, we humans are unisexual, means male and females are visibly different from each other in physical appearance, external genital organs, and accessory sex characters. So, this is called as sexual dimorphism, as we can easily distinguish certain characters through which males and females can be easily distinguished. The accessory sex characters or secondary sex characters in human beings appear during puberty due to the action of sex hormones secreted by the anterior pituitary gland and later by the action of the male and female sex hormones. So, these characters distinguish the two sexes of a species but do not directly play any role in reproduction. In human beings, these include low pitch and high pitch of sound, external genital organs, and different patterns of distribution of hair on the body. So, if we go for accessory or secondary sexual characters in human males, which we may observe that they appear during the age of puberty around at the age of 12 to 14 years. So these include appearance of beard and mustache, growth of axillary and pubic hair, broadening of chest and shoulders, appearance of hair on chest, arm and legs, development of muscular body, development of voice, as well as enlargement of external genitalia. So these changes do we may observe in the case of males. If we go for some common changes that do we have discussed in both boys and girls, what are they? Growth of thick hair in armpits and genital area between the thighs, thinner hair appear on legs, arms and face, and oily skin and appearance of pimples. So these are the common changes which are being observed in both the sex at the age of puberty. And if we go for the specific changes which takes place do in the boys during the age of puberty, which we have discussed, which includes the, the thick facial hair growth, the voice begins to crack and the deepening of voice, the genital organ, it becomes occasionally begins to become enlarged and erect, and broadening of chest and shoulders. If we go for the accessory or secondary sexual characters in human females, which appears at the age between 10 to 12 years in the case of females, which may include breast size begins to enlarge, darkening of the skin of nipples, beginning of the menstrual cycle, sweetening of voice, as well as growth of axillary and pubic hairs. So these are the different changes that do takes place at the age of puberty under the influence of certain hormones released from the pituitary gland. Now we'll discuss about the male reproductive system. As the reproductive organs, they comprise of primary reproductive organs, accessory ducts, as well as accessory sex organs. So we'll discuss about the male reproductive system. In the case of male reproductive system, the primary reproductive organs include a pair of testes and their scrotal sacs, their accessory ducts, which would include vas efferens, epididymis, and vas deferens. And third one, which is accessory sex organs, which includes seminal vesicle, corpus or bulbourethral glands, prostate glands, urethra, and penis. As we know, to fulfill the process of sexual reproduction, gametes are required, and the male gamete, which is the sperm, is formed within the testis. In the diagram, it has been shown the male reproductive system in the lateral view. So we are having a pair of testes. In this case, one testis is being observed due to drawn in lateral position. So there are two in numbers in male human beings, and as within the testis, certain cells are responsible to form the male gamete, which are sperms. And for the completion of the process, for the formation of the sperm, the testis requires low body temperature. So to fulfill the process, the testis, they are present in a bag-like structure hanging outside the body, which is called as a scrotum or a scrotal sac, which is a pouch-like loose fold of skin arising from the lower abdominal wall and hanging between the legs. So due to presence within the scrotal sac, it provides around about 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius temperature less than the body temperature, so that the sperms can be produced in a better way, in an efficient way. So the testis is responsible for forming the gametes, which is the male gamete, the sperms, and as well as it also releases the main male hormone, which is testosterone. If we write TES, it stands for plural, testis. You have to be careful while writing the spelling, and if you are denoting a single testis, then only one letter would be replaced, which is TES, means instead of E, letter I has been replaced here, which stands for singular in number. So as the sperms, they are being produced within this testis through certain type of meiotic divisions. The sperms produced, they are released from the individual testis. They are passed through the vas efferens and passing through the epididymis, and then it ascends upward through vas deferens. So this is the vas deferens, which ascends into the abdominal cavity and surrounding the urinary bladder. It joins and it is showing the presence of seminal vesicle, and later on it joins to the ejaculatory duct. So as the sperms, they are stored within this seminal vesicle, which are narrow, long pouches with muscular tissues on their wall. The seminal vesicles, they secrete an alkaline and viscous seminal fluid which enters the vas deferens. So this is the vas deferens, which is coming from the each testis. Obviously two vas deferens would be there, and the seminal vesicle, it releases the certain viscous liquid which enters the respective vas deferens, and the secretion, it forms around about 60% semen plasma. It mostly contains fructose, calcium, and certain other nutrients. So fructose, obviously it acts as a source of energy for the sperm. As well as there is one more gland we may observe, which is prostate gland. As this prostate gland, which lies below the urinary bladder, and it mostly forms up to around about 30% of the semen. It provides a secretion which is slightly alkaline in nature and contains some lipids, small amounts of citric acid, bicarbonates, and few enzymes. And the secretion provides nutrition to sperms and increases their motility rate. Means it provides motility to the sperms which have been stored within the seminal vesicles, and when it passes through the ejaculatory duct which is surrounded by the prostate gland, it provides the certain essential nutrients to the sperms. One more gland is there which is called as Cowper's gland, or also known as bulbourethra gland. As these glands, they are the size of a pea seed, means they are a size of pea seed, and secrete an alkaline fluid which coats urethra before the release of sperms to neutralize the acids of the urine. So mucus secreted by these glands lubricates the end of the penis also and the lining of the urethral duct. So as we can observe, there is a common passage, that is through the urethra, the sperms also and the urine, both they pass through the common passage. But both the products, they can't pass at a single time. Means either the semen or the urine may pass through the urethra at a single time. So as the sperms produced from the testis, it passes through the seminal vesicle, prostate glands, and the Cowper's glands. They do also secrete certain nutritious fluids. So now the nutritious fluid along with the sperm, the secretion, the composite form is called as semen. And semen is a milky, viscous mixture of sperms and secretions of the accessory sex glands. Around about 3 to 4 ml of semen is released or ejaculated at one time, and it contains around about 200 to 300 million sperms within the 3 to 4 milliliter of semen. Now we'll understand the structure of the sperm. As we know, the sperms, they are the male gametes, and they are very microscopic tiny bodies formed in the seminiferous tubules in large number within each testis. A sperm contains mainly genetic material within which all the coded information is present within the nucleus. If we go for the structure, we may observe a sperm has a head piece, middle piece, and a tail piece. Within the head piece, we may observe within the head region, at the top region, acrosome is present, which is a special type of enzyme which is essential during the process of fertilization. Whereas the nucleus, it contains the genetic material, and the middle piece within which number of mitochondria are there, which provides the motility, which provides energy to the sperm for the movement so that it can fertilize the female gamete, as well as a tail region, which helps to provide the motility and lashing movement during the female genital tract. So as we have discussed, these sperms along with the secretions of these certain glands, collectively the secretion is called as semen, and per ejaculation around about 3 to 4 ml semen is released, in which we have discussed around about 200 to 300 million sperms are present. So we have discussed the seminal vesicles, the main functions is to store the sperms, as well as it secretes an alkaline and viscous seminal fluid forming the 60% of the semen plasma. It also contains fructose, which provides energy to the sperm, calcium and prostaglandins. So these prostaglandins stimulate vaginal contractions to help in upward movement of the sperm in the female genital tract to reach the female gamete, which is the ovum. The secretions released by the prostate gland, what are they? They secretes around about 30% of the semen, which is slightly alkaline in nature, around with some amounts of lipids, small amounts of citric acids, bicarbonate, as well as few enzymes are released, and the main function is to provide motility to the sperms. Whereas the corpus glands or the bulbourethral glands are concerned, they secretes an alkaline fluid which coats the urethra before the release of sperms to neutralize the acids of urine, as well as the mucus released lubricates the female passage also during the copulation. So if you go for the functions of the male reproductive system, we may list out that production of the testosterone hormone, the specific hormone, the testosterone, which is produced within the male, within the testis, and this testosterone and other androgens, it helps to maintain it in a functional state and to develop the male secondary characters, as well as the other function of the male reproductive system. We may assign the formation of the sperms by the germinal epithelial cells present within the testis by the certain process called spermatogenesis, in which the sperms are produced. And the third function we may list out the transfer of sperms by the penis into the vagina of female during copulation. So these were the different functions of the male reproductive system. Till so far here, thank you. Have a nice day.